I'll start right here. This is intentionally way more dramatic than it actually is. If you're on the audio version, I'll paint the picture for you. I'm paying off, as I sometimes do, the outfit on the thumbnail for a Monday morning show, which is the Napzok branded beanie. You can get that in the Fourth Wall shop. And my steadfast, steady, always there, those all generally mean the same thing, bathrobe, and a casual black t-shirt. But there's something a little different. No, not the size of my beard. It's getting a little bushy. It is a neck brace. I have a neck brace on. But I'm being dramatic. I don't need this on. It's just something I picked up. It's so nice. It's versatile. Oh, let me tell you, it's versatile. You could put this in the freezer, put this little blue thing in the freezer, or you can put it in the microwave. And then it just attaches, and then you just put it here, and you're either cold or hot, and your neck feels 2% better. I'm doing this because I've had for a couple weeks now, as you've seen if you've been watching the blather and are listening, a weird neck injury, probably a pinched nerve, probably a broken something, or cracked this, or a pulled muscle. And just when it gets better, so I'm like, I don't need to seek medical attention. I don't need to do anything. It's getting better. One thing, I'm trying to change my posture while I'm doing this. Oh gosh. And then, like, you do something silly, you do something, that's innocuous, and then suddenly, boom, your back explodes. And that's kind of been my last couple days. It was getting better Wednesday, and then boom, it's been worse. Anyways, don't cry for me. And again, the neck brace. What is this? Neck brace? I'm kind of joking, because this is how I feel, and this is how I feel as the last week of my 40s begins. Today, we are 1 week away as I record this and release this for Patreon supporters. Hey, step on into Patreon, patreon.com/Napzok, or become a YouTube channel member and get this video a little early and call into the blathering. Ding. As I record this, I am 1 week away from turning 50, officially. I think it'll be in the afternoon, sometime in the afternoon. I'm like a 1:45 baby or something like that. So Sunday afternoon, I turn 50. There you go. And as I've said in the last couple episodes, this is going to be the focus of a lot of my shows leading up to it, because it's big, and it's very big, and I think it's okay for it to be big. But also, I'm okay. And I'm excited. And I know it's not going to feel any different. I'm not going to wake up different. I'd say that, though. I'm in a neck brace, and it hurts to look, to see even. My eyes are strained because they've changed dramatically. In fact, occasionally you see me put on the readers, the little readers. Yeah, I'm there. And I have to embrace it, because you know why? Look at that. Oh, I can see the screen. It's so much better. And maybe that's the lesson. As I headed last week of my 40s, I was like, what am I going to do with the last week of my 40s? What am I going to do? I'm going to go crazy? Party like I'm 28? Well, I didn't party much when I was 28. More like maybe when I was 39. Go see the world? I don't know. Or just sit here? Probably. And what is happening is I'm going to work extra, because I'm going to take a couple days off for the birthday. So to take a couple days off, because I work 7 days a week, you have to triple up. There you go. I'm a hard-working, boot-wearing man. And that's okay. But I have the neck brace on, and the bathrobe, and the beanie. And I wish coffee. It's a little too late in the recording day. But I have this on because I feel broken. And I feel as though that is because I have not done a good amount of self-care, or even let other people care about me. That is what's on my mind this coming week. This is a show about me looking ahead to my week and finding where it connects with yours. This is about the emotions, the spirits inside of us that are sometimes feeling like this, a neck brace. I one time in 2006 had to be whisked away to a Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in an ambulance. They were going to charge me $750 for that. I just didn't pay it. And then it turns out that's what they do. They just try to trick people into paying. Anyways, side conversation, I guess. I got whisked away to Cedars-Sinai, emergency gallbladder surgery. I'd been dealing with those for about 4 or 5 years, but just kind of didn't deal with it. I didn't deal with it. The night of September 11th, and this story has been remixed before, but the night of September 11th, 2001, as I watched in horror with the rest of the world what was going on, I had to go into work at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. By 2 a.m. the next day, or on my work shift, I was on the floor in pain, and went to ER, got taken to my Kaiser ER, and they blew me off. You're too young for gallstones, was what I was told. I was like, but my cousin at 26 had hers removed. That seems, and her dad, my uncle, and my mom, his sister, they all had their gallbladder removed. Maybe, so did my grandma. All on one side. Do you think I got some of those genes? Nah, just take. Good chance it's probably a heartburn, or well, take this little elixir and we'll see you. And I didn't follow up. Also, they said, try eating less pepperoni pizza. So I did. I ate less pepperoni pizza. And I didn't have the problem again. So there you go. Okay. Done. Except for I just didn't look into it. I didn't take care of myself in that regard. Oh, yeah, I ate less pepperoni pizza. But I was just like, oh, I got this thing. I guess it's gone now. I guess it fixed itself. And 2006, I'm in an ambulance heading to Cedars-Sinai, emergency gallbladder surgery. Real bad. A couple months later, I go to Disneyland. I blame Disneyland. I kind of scratch a little, maybe a little tiny little pimple on my forehead or something. I felt something on my forehead. I'm at Disneyland. I don't know. And by 2-3 days later, I was in the ER again with a swollen face and a giant infection on my head. That needed to be dealt with in an emergency fashion. All that disgusting stuff to say. I missed some work during that time. And my client, when I worked in security, we had on-site clients because we had the contracts, the security contracts for them. So I answered to them. They were my bosses on a daily basis, but I also had my company bosses. And my client boss calls my vice president boss on the security side and says, Joe, you got to tell Ken, he's a young man yet. And I was just 30. He doesn't take care of himself. He doesn't take care of himself. He should have gone to the hospital earlier. He should have dealt with the stuff. And of course, now I think some of her angle was, I'm also missing the person we're paying good money to, quotations around good. And maybe that was some of the issue, but she was nice and she cared about me. And I go back to that a lot. Because I am like, I guess you could say, quote, most men, don't go to the doctor. And I don't, I'm not saying any of this to say I'm going to change that or you should change that. This isn't just about simply going to the doctor. Yes, I should do it more. But there is just something to self-suffering. There's something to carrying the weight and the pain and the struggles. And I'm saying this as a man, but this could definitely translate to anyone, and I hope it does. But because of who I am, because what generally the demographics of my audience are, I will say that this is something that we do. This is part of the patriarchy pressing down on us and our feelings of if we don't take care of ourselves, if we're not strong enough for others, and those aren't bad things, by the way. Those aren't inherently bad. I wish I could take care of all the people in my life. That's why I play the lottery. I'm kidding, I don't play it that much. All right, like once every 8 weeks, I get a little itchy. All right, it's like slot machine. One of these days is going to hit. But we all can, and I think this can be anyone. But we all can have that desire to take care of ourselves, take care of other people in our lives who are important. And when you feel like you can't, and you feel like society's going to leave you behind, it can feel pretty bad. You can carry that for a while. And I think not wanting to press time out, not wanting to press the pause button, not wanting to slow down and deal with what's bothering you is something that can dominate and fester. And much like that gallbladder attack that came about 5 years later after it first showed up, or much like a harmless little scratch that I, for a day or two, didn't deal with, and next thing you know, I'm nearly dead, like infection, like near the brain. The nurse was like, "Holy crap! Sir, get in here. You look like a Dick Tracy villain." She didn't say that, but I definitely felt that way. It got the point. My roommate and I took pictures of my face over the course of like 12 hours to document my death. Like, that could have been avoided, possibly, if I had just dealt with it a few hours earlier. When people in my work were like, "What's going on in your head?" And I was like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's just a thing. No, something's going on with your head. Shout out to Rhonda, the operations manager of the farmers market, good friend of mine, who was like, sit down. I'm going to get a hot compress. There's something. We need to draw the poisons out from the unicorn horn growing on your head. But no. I don't just think that's a simple male guy trait. I don't think this is manosphere talk here. But this is smash the patriarchy talk. This is how society wants all of us, again, to be strong, self-sustaining, if you're in a capitalistic society, for sure. But this is me realizing how so much of my life has been going, I'm good. I'll suffer so you don't have to. I'll suffer so that you don't have to worry about me. I'll suffer because that's what I know. And it can be something as simple as this darn neck thing, which is even hurting right now as I'm recording this. Back neck brace isn't helping. It can be that, or it can be something different, something deeper. And that includes depression. That includes all the things on the inside that I've dealt with, the patterns that have locked me in, the feelings of inadequacy that have dominated so much of my life. And for years, I've been going, mostly to myself, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Don't. And then suddenly you find yourself down on one knee, crumpled over in pain. And then you're not taking care of yourself. You're not taking care of anyone. You're just not functional. And you can't move forward. This is the last week of my 40s. And I'm not here anymore to mourn the time loss. Oh, the time loss is real. It comes up a lot on the blathering or any other place and on and off camera for me. Oh, that was 10 years ago. That was 20 years ago. Oh, my God. Yeah. Time and time moving on and time loss is real. But I'm not heading towards 50 this week with any moment beyond a flicker, beyond just a natural reactive flicker. I'm not letting myself go forward with wallowing in the regret, wallowing in the time lost, and no longer going to sit back and let the pain keep on going. Not just with this neck. What I'm excited about this last week of my 40s is that I will be working hard. That's not going to change for me. There's things I like doing. There's work I like doing. I'm excited about some of the things. But that's because lately I've been dealing with the pains. Maybe not this one. Oh, stretch that neck. Not these ones, but the patterns, the things that have trapped me, the chains that have strapped me and kept me strapped to a dock, like I've talked about on the show before. I always feel like the real me is trying to swim away. But society, myself, upbringing, whatever, patterns, depression, anxiety has tied me to the dock, and I can't swim as far as I want to, or as far as I can, or as far as I know I can go. I have stopped to address that. I've stopped to work on the pain. And I've decided to, as best I can, because it's hard to just leave this all behind. I am, as I've said before, just 2 weeks ago here on the show, or 2 episodes ago, I've learned the lessons. I'm not freaking out as much as I turned 40 as I turned 50. That's not where I'm at. But I am happy that over the last now 3-4 months have stopped and addressed the pains. I've worked on the pains. I've taken steps. I have notes all right here. The notes from all my therapy sessions. I put them into a book, but they're mostly her words. I keep encouraging her. My therapist should write a book like Sessions with Ken. I can't even say it. Sessions with Ken. Maybe that's my clue to take a sip of water. I hope this episode's making sense. And I hope it's connecting with you. I'm excited about some of the work I got to do this week. I'm excited about some of the things coming because I feel for the first time, am actually working on them. Got some writing coming up for Culture, Faith, and Politics, the work I did with Pat Conkey. You should check it out. I got some stuff I'm working on here. I got a new stand-up bit I like. I'm putting extra doing extra work into a sports card ASMR because it's growing and I really like it. And it's a little passion project for me that is still exciting a couple years into it. But that wasn't always the case. I've just been trying to survive last couple of years, last couple of decades. I've been cast adrift in an ocean of my own making, bobbing along, not knowing where to go. And I have some huge questions hanging over me right now. I have some huge questions. My mind is not necessarily focused in the best way about some of the big decisions coming up for me. This studio might not be. I might be somewhere else. I'm fighting hard to stay here, but also I don't know if that's what I need to do. I'm having a lot of that. But I'm approaching it with a lot less of the pain that has been holding me back for nearly 30 years. I thought I dealt with some of it, and I did, chipped away at it. Over the last 10 years, I've been a better person. I've been a different person. I have been a stronger person. But I didn't fix things. I didn't heal things. I didn't change things. In fact, I'm recording this episode a little earlier because I'm super focused today on what I want to do. And as I approach the last week of my 40s, in a neck brace, for the first time in my life, I feel as though the pain that will always be there, it's not a pain that I have to hide anymore. It's not a pain that I don't want to fix. And this new decade is going to be one of painful aging. I know what it is. My eyesight, as I said, already getting bad. But that aside, I'm truly excited. Truly excited. So, again, does this make sense? I don't know. Do you have to just be a middle-aged white man to get this episode? No. No. Where are you at in your life this week? Where you're afraid to address the pain. You're afraid to admit that you're in pain. You're afraid to admit that this thing is something that has dropped you to your knee. And it needs to be addressed. Not in one blink of an eye, not in 1 hour, not in one session. No, but it needs to be addressed. The process needs to be started. Don't carry those pains forward if you have the ability to deal with them. Different other pains. Caveat, caveat, caveat. You know what I'm talking about. So, that's it. That's where I'm going this week. That's the show. I'm in a neck brace. Things still hurt right now. But I'm okay. You're going to be okay too. The next episode of Monday Morning Show, it might be in 2 weeks. I'll be doing some traveling on my actual birthday next Sunday. So we shall see. But the next one, regardless, I'll be an old. There you go. Let go of the pain, my friends. Address the pain. By all means, if your gallbladder's hurting, go to the ER. Go to your doctor. Stop eating pepperoni pizza. All right. See you next time.